Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to be learning how to cut the half butterfly bubu gown. So if this is what you are interested in learning, keep watching and don't forget subscribe to my channel, like and share for more of these videos. So let's get into business of the day. So today we are going to be cutting the half bubu butterfly gown. We're going to start with the length of the shoulder. So I'm using 22 inches because this is on fold. The material is on fold. As you can see, this is the back and this is the front. I'm folding them equally and I'm using 22 inches for the shoulder length. That is what I mean by shoulder length, is from the half of your shoulder down to where the sleeve is going to stop. So it is 22 inches. And then our neck width measurement will be 3 inches. But in today's tutorial I'm going to be using this embroidery design, so I'm going to be using it to mark out the neck measurement. So I'm going to put it like this, and it is still the 3 inches allowance I gave here. So I will just trace it out like this. And then for the back neck, we are going to be using half an inch for the neck depth. So this deep one is for the front, and the one that is 1.5 inch is for the back. Then we are going to use 2 inches for the shoulder slope. You measure 2 inches and use your ruler to draw it down to meet that 2 inches that you marked out. That will be your shoulder slope. So after that, we are going to be marking each point. So for the bust point, for the chest point, it's 9 inches. Then for the bust point is 12 inches. Then the half length is 17 inches. Then from the half length, you're going to measure down 9 inches for the hip point. After that, you draw your line so that you can see very well what you are working with. You draw your line very well with the ruler. You draw your line very well with the ruler. So we're done with that. The half butterfly is going to be stopping at the hip line. So that is where we are going to be stopping our half butterfly. This line that I drew for the hip line is where we are going to be stopping the half butterfly. That is where the half butterfly is going to end. So from there, I'm going to measure my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 40 inches. That is 40 divided by 4, that's 10. So I'm going to mark out 10 inches here. And then for ease, I'm going to use 2 inches for ease allowance, and then I'm going to use 2 inches for sewing allowance. So from there, I'm just going to curve a line like this to meet this shoulder line here. I'm just going to curve it from this place, from the allowance of the hip. You're going to just curve it down to your shoulder. After that, you're going to just draw your line downward. So my length, I'm using 60 inches because my client is very tall. So I'm using 60 inches for the length. So I'm going to draw this length down to the end of the hemline. Now we are going to cut. So now I'm going to cut the neckline. First, I'll be cutting out the back neckline. I'm going to cut it out. That is the 1.5 inch for the back neckline. I'll cut it, then I'll cut out the shoulder slope. So I'm going to be leaving this front neckline. I will cut it when I'm done cutting the whole fabric. I'm going to separate the back from the front, then I will cut the front neckline. So now I'm going to cut out the body. As you can see what I'm doing. Sorry, my tape is disturbing. So I'm going to cut it straight down to the hemline. The length is going to be the same. Down to the hemline. So after that, I'm going to be separating the front from the back so that I can cut the neckline of the front. So I'm going to be separating. After removing it like this, I'm now going to cut out the neckline for the back, for the front. Remember, I'm using the embroidery design, so I'm following, just in case you want to use an already made embroidery design, you follow the neckline of the embroidery design. So that is what I've done here. So now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and join the shoulder and the sides together. Then I'll come back and show you the next thing to do. So you join your shoulder together and then you join the inside together, the seam allowance together. Then I'll come and show you what next to do. So what you are going to do is that you are going to come to this side like this and then cut out, then measure the half. So this is the half. You are going to now use your rule to draw a straight line to divide the dress into two, and then you are going to take your shoulder to bust point, which is 12, and then shoulder to half length, which is 17. Then you are going to divide your measurements. You are going to divide your bust measurement into 4. So for this we have 9.5 as the bust measurement. So from this line you divided into 2. You start on this right side and you put your 9.5, and then you put half inch for ease. Then you come to the half length again. 7.5 is the waist measurement. You put it 7.5, and then you measure half an inch for ease. So then you are going to join the line like this, and then you are going to take it down to your hip here like this. You're going to take it down. So you're going to repeat the same thing. What I did here is what I did on this other side. So this line I drew here like this, I'm going to sew on it. And make sure you lock it in, and then you sew on it. You follow the line straight. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, because you're sewing on two sides. You're trying to make sure you cut out the threads for a clean work. You're trying to give the bubu that fitting around the waist and the then tighten the stitch, and that's it. So thanks for watching this video to the end. If this video was helpful to you, share it with your friends and other sewing colleagues, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and keep watching all our videos. So guys, this is the final look of our half bubu gown. See you guys in our next tutorial. Bye.